Hey, what's up, everybody? So today's video, we're going to talk about 7 how do I questions for new players, things that have been asked a lot during the beta and after here. So let's jump right in, shall we? Let's start with how do I group up with my friends? So this is an extremely popular question during beta, and I'll try to just go over it a little bit so you guys have a basic understanding. So, all right, so you've created your character, you're crawling up on the beach here, and you're running around, you're killing things, you're looking for what you're supposed to do next, right? You're jumping over stuff, jumping up on stuff, you're climbing up the hill so you can see the mountain, and you come down the hill and you fight this corrupted boss, and with ease you take him out. And then you start loading, and now you are spawning into the main map. So you can spawn in one of 4 starting locations: Monarch's Bluff, you can spawn in Everfall, you could potentially spawn in Windsward, or last but not least, you could potentially spawn in First Light. So these 4 starting areas all have the same starting quest. So what you want to do is you'll go turn in your tutorial quest as shown here. Walk up to the first guy, turn in your quest, do not accept the next quest. Then you will group up with your friends, choose which starting area you all want to work in, get all grouped up, walk over to each other, and then start mowing through the quest. All right, so let's move on to question number 2 here, shall we? All right, so this question was asked quite a bit during beta and still will need some explanation, but how do I decide what attributes and what gear I want to use? So, unlike other MMOs, there is no classes in this game. There's also no gear restrictions. So, you have 5 attributes. You have strength, which is mostly melee tanking. You have dexterity, which is mostly ranged bowman type thing. Intelligence, which is for the mages, focus, which is used for healing, and constitution, which is the life. So you'll use a variety of these attributes to build the class that you want to build. And you can use the icons and the question marks on the right to see what goes with each talent here. So, all right, so your inventory is important because you can get encumbered in this game. So you need to always keep an eye on your weight bar. So if you're getting overloaded with stuff in your inventory, you need to make sure that you either get rid of some of it, put it in the bank, whatnot. But it's important that you know your weight. Okay, so your gear weight and your inventory weight are 2 different things, and right now we're looking at your gear weight. So you have 3 gear weights: light, medium, or heavy. The bar here and at the top, the number will show you what you're at, and each one has a different dodge ability and mobility. So make sure that you're paying attention to what your weight is, and if you want to keep that roll dodge, you need to stay in the light area. Okay, so moving on to gear score. Gear score is the accumulation of all your items put together. Items gear score put together. So this matters when you're trying to do higher level dungeons or whatnot. And you can also see there that it shows resistance and it shows an overview of your attributes. All right. So salvaging and repairing items. So there are no vendors in this game, so you do not sell. So you can use the repair all button down here to repair all your gear at once, and you right click on your items and choose the salvage option to salvage them. So salvaging gives you repair parts and money, and that's how you repair. So the main story quest will send you through building all your crafting tools except the sickle. So I point out there that you really need to make sure you build a sickle so you're not passing up all the plants that you can't pick because you don't have the sickle, okay? All right, moving on. So the next question that I'd like to go over a little bit is how does the trading post and storage work, right? So trading post is kind of like an auction or a market, and storage is like a bank. So we'll go over the trading post a little bit first here. So just like any other auction, you have a buy tab, you have a sell tab, and you have my orders tab. Basically the stuff that you've posted or that you've sold so you can look at later and see how much money you made off of it. So this functions just like any other auction or any other market in any other game. If you are putting up a sell, you click your item, you go through all the settings here, you choose how you want to set it up, and then you place the order. Same thing when you're buying. You click on an item, if you're willing to pay the price for it, you click buy, it's yours. It goes straight into your inventory. So there's no mail in this game, so you won't see that. All right, so moving on to storage. Trading post, pretty simple, just the same thing as normal, but storage is a little different. So I brought up the arrows here because each one of these items in your inventory has a little arrow next to it that you can click on to move that whole section into your storage. So that's important if you want to save time. And just keep in mind that anytime you're moving stuff out of your inventory into your shed, that your inventory weight is going down and your storage shed weight is going up. And then the last arrow here is just pointing at the storage location. It's extremely important that you remember that each storage section in each different city is different. All right, so how do I choose my faction? This is a question that I've got quite a bit in beta, so I'll just go over a few things here, and I'll give you some information on the screen about the three factions. So you have the Marauders, they're green. You have the Syndicate, they are purple, and you have the Covenant, and they are yellow. So there is benefits to being in a faction based off what your server looks like and what companies are what. You may want to join whichever one's the biggest, so you have help with it, or you have a lot of city zones, so you get the in-town benefits, which can be like lower taxes, cheaper traveling, stuff like that. Or you may want to join the underdog and try to help fight against the big guys, right? So there's a few downfalls, a few benefits to it, but you can only change every 120 days. You can't group PvP with other factions. You can only join companies in your current faction, and then faction-owned cities will give you pretty large benefits if it's your faction. All right, so point number 7, and the last thing that we'll talk about in this video is PvP flagging and unflagging. So you get to choose in this game if you're flagged or not, but it only happens when you're in town. So if you're in town, you hit U, you can flag, you can unflag. If you flag, when you walk out of town, you'll get the PvP protection timer started. That'll last for 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds, you're flagged. And that's pretty much it. So I'll give you a little rundown of some upcoming videos that I have here, but as always, yeah, if you liked the video, please hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.